and everything within the bracket. And then we have our over-under reactions.
Stay.
Dude, this guy is tweaking. All right, let's get into it. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Morning Wood. This is a sports show hosted by two idiots. We are those two idiots. My name is Matthew. I'm joined with Jason, as always. He's a Ravens fan. I'm a Steeler fan. We're
Ravens
rivals.
didn't lose this week.
They didn't lose because they didn't play. The Steelers did play. We won. We kicked that Browns ass, as always, except for like 3 weeks ago when we lost to them in the snow. But that doesn't count because that didn't happen. Let's get into it. Let's talk about some football. Let's get into the top of the morning news. We always start with that. And we got some interesting news, something that I didn't see coming. And it just broke about 3 hours ago. But Bill Belichick is returning to coach football, but it's not in the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. The former Patriots and Browns head coach and the Jets head coach for like a day, I think he was, before he took the New England job. He has, 6 Super Bowls, a million AFC championship games. He beat my Steelers what seemed like every time we played them in meaningful games. And his resume speaks for itself. But he is now the new coach for the North Carolina Tar Heels. They are finalizing a deal that will sign him to who knows how many years and for how much money. But the greatest coach in NFL history is returning to college.
I don't think he ever coached college. I'm looking at his resume right now.
Did he even play college football? I don't even know.
He played at Wesleyan University in Middletown, Connecticut.
Yeah, population of 5.
He played tight end and center. But his first job as a coach was with the Baltimore Colts as an assistant.
Yes. And then D coordinator for the Giants, I believe.
And then the Brads.
Then the Brads.
Then the Jets. Then back to the Patriots.
That is right. He was Patriots head coach for like a day.
And then he won some Super Bowls.
Yes. The father of the best dynasty the NFL's ever seen is moving to North Carolina. Very interesting. I don't know how to feel about that. They're not a bad.
He does have ties. His dad did coach there when he was a kid.
Okay.
That's why. I don't know if that's why, but I don't know.
It's probably a good reason.
Yeah.
Probably has something.
It's not just random. It's not just a random, let's go coach here.
It feels a little random. I did see on Twitter that there were 2 other coaches in talks for this job, but Bill is the one that obviously got hired.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Some 2 randos and then Bill Belichick. I wonder who's going to get the job.
I mean, I'm giving it to the best coach of all time. They gave it to the best coach of all time. And North Carolina, you guys have a new head coach. He's pretty good when it comes to coaching. So that's good. Maybe they're going to be the new power.
Imagine being in high school, you're getting recruited, and Bill Belichick sitting on your living room couch talking to you, be like, come be a Tar Heel.
They're going to say, yes, sir.
Roger that.
Sounds good to me.
Give me the baby blues.
Maybe they're going to be a powerhouse in the ACC here soon. You never know.
They got the Jordan logo unis that are fresh.
They are sponsored by Jordan.
They are. They're fresh.
We'll see. Interesting. That's the main news. Let's move on to some more. Tommy DeVito.
This isn't news.
Speaking of pizza, and we're only talking about it because me and him had an argument earlier, but it's fine. Tommy DeVito expected to start now for the Giants because
Tommy
Drew
DeVito made
Lock.
that pizza I just ordered. And now he's starting against the Ravens.
Drew Lock's in a boot. DeVito's starting. So Ravens by 40, yo.
By 40, yo.
Ravens by 40, yo.
40 yards.
New Giants quarterback. And then tomorrow night, the 49ers take on the Rams, who just beat the Bills in a crazy game. The 49ers, who have been injured all year, it doesn't stop anytime soon, apparently, because they have ruled out the best left tackle in football, Trent Williams, will not be playing tomorrow night. And along with that, Nick Bosa, Isaac Izagorendo, and Dre Greenlaw are all listed as questionable. Greenlaw with the Achilles, Bosa with, I forget what he has, and Isaac.
That's a short list for the 49ers this year.
That's actually pretty good, honestly. that worked. Maybe. Those three are listed as questionable. Trent's not playing.
That's not good though, because McCaffrey is out, obviously, and then
Mason's out.
Mason's out, and Garendo is the third string running back.
Maybe Tommy DeVito will play running back for the 49ers.
I mean, why not?
He might. That's top of the morning news. 49ers stay unhealthy as always. We'll see if they can pull out that win. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's move on. Let's pass it to Jason.
Yes. Let's get into the Antonio Brown tweet of the day. Roll the clip.
Kicks him in. Antonio Brown.
Go on social media, man. This is about us. Nobody else, man.
This is a good one. This really resonated with me.
This is a great tweet. And I know why you picked.
What is the best rivalry in the NFL right now? AB quote tweeted it. Is it the Ravens and the Steelers? Is it the Eagles and the Cowboys? Maybe the Packers and the Bears know it's the Chiefs' opponents versus the NFL referees. And I couldn't agree more. We see this rivalry every week, and it's amazing.
It's the best one of that.
It's the best one. We get it every week. It's not just twice a year. It's every week we get this one.
It is a all-season rivalry.
All season. You get 18 weeks a year. Well, I guess 16, or 17. But yeah, Chiefs, they do their thing. The refs do their thing as well. But at least AB's on board.
That's a great tweet.
Like the rest of the NFL, other than the Chiefs. Yeah. Well, we don't get any calls. Yeah, okay.
That's a great tweet.
We can talk about this past NFL season. I'll talk about the refs a little bit later.
Yeah, we always do. Every time we talk about the Chiefs. Speaking of recapping, let's recap the NFL. Let's recap NFL Week 14. Let's start off with our Thursday night game, which was actually a banger, low-key. Big divisional game. The Lions, they win a back-and-forth battle with Green Bay, and they go on to sweep the Packers this year. I don't know if they did that last year, but I did call that. Also, but the Lions, they had a good offensive day. Obviously, that's usually what they do. Goff goes for 283 and 3 touchdowns. But the key factor in this game, if you were watching or if you weren't, Dan Campbell has some big things. My guy. He went for 4 out of 5 times on fourth down. One of them, however, literally won them the game. It didn't really win them. It won them the game. But they had a chance to kick a field goal like every other team does on 4th and short to go up late in the game, but they would have gave the ball back to the Packers with, I don't remember how much time. Not a ton of time, but possibly enough for Jordan Love to make something happen. And Dan Campbell said, screw that. We're going to get the fourth down, and then we're going to run the clock out completely and kick a game-winning field goal and walk it off, which I'm surprised not a lot more teams do, but not a lot of teams are coached by Dan Campbell, so that's why.
At least he's consistent.
He is consistently
consistent with it.
A psycho, and I love it. He does not care. They get 4 out of 5 fourth down conversions. They basically seal the game for them multiple times. And the Lions do what the Lions do, and they just win. Jordan Love and the boys, they didn't have a really great game offensively. He did throw 1 touchdown, but he didn't blow up the stat sheet like he normally does sometimes. The passing game for the Green Bay really wasn't there. And I think that kind of costed them some key spots in that game really to either not only win it, but maybe take a little bit of a couple possessions lead on the Lions, but they just couldn't really get it going. Again, Lions are the Lions. They are still banged up a little bit. Not everybody's fully healthy for Detroit, so when they get back to fully healthy, that's scary. But they go on, they sweep the Cheeseheads.
Yeah, like you were saying, the Lions doing Lion things and winning. The Jets did Jet things, and they lost again in overtime to the Dolphins. It's just at this point, it doesn't matter who you have on the roster for the Jets. If you put on that Jets uniform, you're going to lose more often than you win games. Aaron Rodgers in the offense, Garrett Wilson had a good day. Devontae Adams had a good day. Dolphins just had a better day, I guess. They won in OT. I don't think the Jets touched the ball in overtime. The Dolphins just took it right down the field and scored a touchdown on those boys. Tua looks good and the offense is there. The Dolphins technically kind of still in the hunt for the wild card. So a much needed win for the Dolphins, and the Jets are the Jets.
Yeah, I actually was just about to say that the Dolphins currently are the 9th seed in the AFC. So they're 2 spots out, and they're kind of in battle with Indianapolis and Cincinnati right now. Denver and the Chargers are still in it. Yeah. So Miami still keeping their season meaningful and alive somehow, which is good. Good for them. Not really. I wasn't really expecting. Honestly, I picked the Jets, so I wasn't expecting that at all. So shout out to the Finns.
Shout out.
Let's move on. I said it last week, and I'm going to say it now every week. This is his new name. Kirko can't move those chains, baby. My man is buns and cheeks. He's kind of like what you said about Derek Carr earlier in the season. He's going to start hot. Everyone's going to buy stock into it, and that stock is going to crash. And it is crashing with no breaks in sight. Minnesota, though, they are back. Like I said in our bets last week, we'll get into that too. Minnesota was going to have a good win, and they did. They did have a good win. They're finally back. They win with some juice. Sam Darnold, 347, 5 tutties. And was this Chris Carter and Randy Moss all over again? What was this? Jordan Addison and Jay Jettis put on a clinic on this Falcons secondary. They both go for over 130, I think 132 and 133 yards for each of them. Addison, 3 touchdowns for the young kid. Jay Jettis has 2 of his own. And the Vikings offense just unstoppable. They score over 40 and dominate the Falcons. Like I said was going to happen. The Dirty Birds suck. Gaga.
Offense was clicking. They had the ball because Kirk threw 4 interceptions. So they just kept moving it down the field.
I mean, that sounds about right.
The Saints beat the Giants 14-11. And maybe Saints. Giants
even play football.
Tanking properly, like a team knows how to tank. They get an opportunity to tie the game with a field goal. It was blocked as time expires. They are still the top spot in getting the first overall pick in the draft. So, baby Giants.
Baby. Another blocked field goal to lose.
Yeah.
Yikes. Not great. You know what is great? Mr. Unlimited. We win. We won again. We beat the Browns, which we should have did that like 2-3 weeks ago when we played them, but we didn't. But Mr. Unlimited and the boys have won 7 out of 8 games. And unlike in 2020 or 2019 when it all was for gays, this actually feels like a good football team, to be honest with you. We controlled this game pretty much from start to finish. They scored early. The Browns scored early. They had a good touchdown drive, I'm not going to lie. And then they did nothing the rest of the game. They scored a garbage time touchdown to help the box score look nice. But overall, we really controlled this game. We kept getting the ball in really good field position, so no one on our team really put up a ton of stats. We just had good drives, and we executed in the red zone when we needed to. The defense played really good. They shut down pretty much all of what the Browns have to offer. And, yeah, everybody looked good. I will say this is the game. One of the things that stood out to me in this game is Patrick Queen actually had a really good game. He only had like 5 tackles, but he was in a lot of plays and was definitely rallying to the ball. So I was happy to see that from him. That's good. We won.
That
baby's Steelers.
The Phillies, not the Phillies. Philly wins in a close game against the Panthers. The Panthers have kind of been scaring some people. They last week with the Chiefs, this week with the I keep saying the Phillies, the Eagles. Jalen Hurts only throws for 108 yards, but good thing they have a guy. His name's Saquon. He's pretty good. He has 124 yards on the ground. A little drama in the locker room not specifically in the locker room after the game, but A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts were involved in some conversations. A.J. Brown he wants the ball more, and when he doesn't get the ball, he tells people about it. But usually when A.J. Brown does get the ball, the Eagles usually it works out for them. So, I mean, it's not a bad thing to want the ball, but it's just, I don't know, publicly came out and said, I want the ball more. I don't think he specifically said that, but there was some drama going on. But the Eagles win again, and there's always some conversation about them. Even they've won, 10 straight games now, it seems like.
9 or 10.
So, and if it's not Sirianni getting fired, it's drama between players. But, I mean, they just keep winning, so it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, hey, if I had A.J. Brown on the outside, I'd throw him the dang ball.
Me too.
To be honest with you.
I agree.
Yeah. They won 9 games. They were 2-2. Now they're 11-2. Yeah, so
nine straight.
I feel like AJ could talk about whatever he wants at this point. They're a good football team.
I agree.
I didn't watch any of that game besides what was on Red Zone. But kind of a weird game. Not a big win for the Eagles, but they did win.
I don't want to say should have won, but it was close.
They played good.
Yeah,
they played good. Hey, you know what other team won? The Jags won a game. That's all I have for the notes on that. They beat Tennessee in what looked like a baseball score.
Yeah, 14-11.
Yeah, so
nice.
Shout out to the Jags.
They won.
They won a game.
The Bucs also won.
They did win.
They beat the Raiders, and Baker throws for 3 more touchdowns. Does have 2 picks, but the Bucs take control of the NFC South. They are in first place, 1 game ahead of the Falcons. They got to keep winning because the Falcons do have the 2 head-to-heads against the Bucs. They have to stay ahead of them if they want first place in the NFC South.
Yeah, the Bucs definitely deserve that spot. They're definitely the best team in that division.
Yeah.
And the Raiders, man, they need some help. There's some teams in the NFL that are just like not good at football.
It's like everyone is like kind of good at the top, and then it's just like you're either like in there and you can beat anyone, or you just suck.
Yeah.
There's like no in between.
The Seahawks. Let's talk about the Hawks, baby. They're back. I was over this team about like 4 weeks ago, but they're back, baby. I kind of picked them the last couple of weeks. They've stayed true to it. They go into Arizona. They rout the Cardinals up, led by Zach Cabernet. I pronounced it right. I'm not gonna lie. I said Carbonnet.
It's Charbonnet.
Charbonnet is what I said.
Charbonnet.
It's Chardonnay. I'm gonna call him Zach Chardonnay because that sounds saucier.
It does.
He goes for 134 yards, Chardonnaying all over the place, and 2 touchdowns. Also, I have to give credit to the Seahawks defense. I've watched them in a couple games. They're very young in most of the skilled positions on defense. A lot of their front 7 guys, and especially in the secondary, their 2 corners on the outside are legit. Witherspoon, and I can't remember the other dude's name. They are good. They are very, very good. They dominated Arizona. They shut down this wide receiver core. They also forced 2 interceptions. I think Trey McBride was their leading receiver with like 60 yards or something. They did a number out there on Arizona. That defense for Seattle, I feel like it's very young and could develop into a really good defense. They get a big win. I believe they've taken a 2-game lead on the division now, with the Rams beating the Bills, and obviously Arizona and San Francisco not too far back. This was a big win for them. Again, Seattle is a team that's had some lulls this season. They lost to the Giants at home on some weird stuff. They also lost like another game that was very strange, but they've also had some good games like this and beating some good teams. So I think they're back. They looked good. They look good on the road, and they kind of hold their own destiny now in that division.
Yeah.
They've shown that.
Yeah, I like the young guys under Mike McDonald kind of developing on that defense. They're flying around a little bit.
Yeah.
We can talk about the Chiefs. They kick a game-winning field goal that hits the upright and goes in, of course, to beat the Chargers.
Taylor Swift was
the Black Magic Voodoo win for the Chiefs again. Continues to happen. They're 12-1, I think. Did we expect anything else? Like when they got the ball with like 3 minutes left, did you expect them not to kick a field goal as time expires to beat the Chargers by 2? No, I said it last week. Chargers to cover 4 and the Chiefs to win is easy. And that's exactly what happened because the Chiefs are not good, but they win somehow.
Yeah, that was an ugly win again. I don't know, have they had a good win ever this season? This is so weird. I will say, again, the best thing about this team is the defense. Their defense is continuing to play very good football. I will give credit. Spags knows what he's doing, and he has them coached up really well. Also, watching this game, like Herbert needs help. I love that man, but my gosh, he needs help. Ladd, I don't think played in this game.
He was out.
Yeah, and they can't move. Dobbins not playing, Ladd not playing. Like Herbert needs help. Hopefully they find it in the draft. I trust Harbaugh to draft and develop guys on offense, but they're not going to win with just like smash mouth football with a quarterback like that. So they need to find some guys who can really spread the field out and help a defense that's been good for a little bit, but some of their guys are getting older. They got Mack, they got Bosa, they got 2 good corners. They have Derwin James, but a lot of these guys aren't young anymore. They're not getting any younger. And that defense, I think, is equipped to win some big-time playoff games, so they need to find some help for Herbert, in my opinion. But the Chiefs, Black Magic, they do get a win. Good for them. Let's move on. The Bills trap game, like I said last week in last week's episode, it did happen. I didn't fully commit to the trap game. I said it was on the table, and the Bills, they allowed the trap. They got the cheese and sprung that trap, baby. Josh Allen, though, is probably the MVP on Sunday because this man scored 42 points and lost on his own. He did that. I mean, he did throw 3 touchdowns, but he also ran 3. The Bills, they still worry me defensively. This game showed that because it was indoors, so they don't get that Buffalo weather to help the defense out. They are still a little bit of a question mark for me, but I'm not going to take too much out of this game for Buffalo. It was a back-and-forth battle. They had plenty of opportunity to win this game. Their defense just didn't really help them out. But like I said, on the road, trap game, team that they're playing desperately needs to keep the season alive, and they lose by like barely 1 possession. So, not taking too much away from the Bills. Shout out to the Rams, though. They did keep their season alive again. I think they're 2 games back from Seattle, but they've had some big wins that they needed, and they're kind of getting healthy. Puka Nacua is a dog, by the way. That dude is a psycho.
He probably has catch of the year on the sideline.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know how. Like, what? I don't know. What is that?
That dude is a dog.
But he is a dog. Insane game. Probably definitely the best game of the week. Josh Allen going crazy. He needs something. I don't know what he needs. They
just need his defense.
I mean, they need something. But good win for the Rams, obviously keeping them in the game or in the division race. Don't they play this Thursday?
They play tomorrow night.
Against the 49ers. That's a big game for the West.
Yeah.
We'll move to Monday night. The Bengals beat the Cowboys in Springfield. Bart beats Homer. Lisa, a.k.a. Jamar Chase, has 2 touchdowns. Cowboys block a punt and end up losing the game because of it in typical Cowboys fashion. Bengals keep their season alive, I guess. They're technically not out of it, but they are out of it. Cowboys are definitely out of it. Good game in quotes because it came down to the last 2 minutes, but kind of a weird game for the Bengals. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase has an insane amount of yards. I don't even know, over 150, I think. He goes crazy again.
He's a dog.
He has 16 targets, an insane number. But the Bengals win. So good job.
They did win.
Shout out to the Bengals.
The only time I picked the Cowboys at home to win a game, they have a blocked punt that ends up being a 20-yard gain for the Bengals somehow. I've never seen that, actually. I've watched football for 15 years now. I've never seen a blocked punt go the other way.
Yeah.
So shout out to the Cowboys, because that's what happens when I pick them to win the game, and they just choke.
Cowboys.
They could have got the ball back. There was a minute left. They could have ran the clock out, kicked the game-winning field goal like the Lions did, and walked off with a win. But they don't know how to convert a blocked punt properly, so they lose. Shout out to them. Yeah, great.
Let's go over our Week 14 pick results. Starting on Thursday night, we both had the Lions beating the Packers.
Yes.
And then we split on the Jets-Dolphins game.
I had the Jets. They didn't win.
I just picked the Dolphins because you picked the Jets.
That was smart.
Was it?
The Jets suck. Yeah, I'm never picking them again. I'm not. Next up, we have... we both picked the Vikings because Kirk Cousins sucks.
Yeah. And then I picked the Giants to beat the Saints.
Yeah, you did. I don't know why.
I mean, they only lost by 3.
They still lost.
They covered 5.
I mean, I guess that's true. We both split on that. We didn't split on this one, even though it was kind of frightening, but the Eagles squeaked by. We don't split on my Steelers. They take care of business against the Browns. The Browns, I love Jameis Winston, but the Browns will always be the Browns.
Browns.
It's unfortunate.
We were both on the Bucks against the Raiders, and then we split on this game. I had the Jags. You had the Titans.
I had the Jags written down, and then we rewatched our last week's episode to see who we picked.
I think you went opposite.
I last second chose the Titans at home because I wanted to be different and stupid.
Stupid.
It's fine.
I believe we both had the Seahawks in this game.
I've picked the Seahawks every week, pretty much. So.
Seahawks, we both had the Seahawks, and then we both lose on the Bills, losing to the Rams.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Kind of a close game, but it's fine.
Yeah, good game.
We both picked the 49ers in this one. Did we both pick the Chiefs? Yes, We both picked the Black Magic. We both get those 2 wins, and then we split on Monday Night Football because the Dallas Cowboys don't know how to recover a blocked freaking punt when I pick them. If I didn't pick them, they would have not only blocked that, but they would have returned it on the same play for a touchdown.
Dude.
So those are our picks. I went 9-4. Jason went 11-2. That brings us
Close
to
the gap.
a 3-game lead here for me. 128-66 to 125-69. So it's close.
Here we go.
It's close. NFL season. It's been close.
Let's pick this week's games.
I feel like a lot of these like it's the blocked punt. I remember the 1 week where I lost on 3 game-winning field goals. Like I'm having a little bit of dark magic.
I started picking against the Chiefs. They should be 1-11, but like they're not. So
That's true. They should be 1-11, but they're not somehow.
Let's start on Thursday night. Football, the Rams go to the 49ers. Kind of a insane. I don't really know where I'm going here. How are you feeling about this?
Yeah, I have 49ers written down with a question mark because this is a big game. Kind of the 2 same teams, really. They're both same division, both not playing great football, both coming off wins, and both needing a win. At the moment, I'm leaning towards, even though they're not fully healthy, I'm leaning towards San Francisco at home. But the only question mark I have is who the heck is going to run the football if Isaac is not ready to go and the Rams maybe have an offensive day. That's scaring me. I'm only going to take San Francisco at home because they're at home. But man, this is not. I'm not feeling like confident in that at all.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the Rams. I think I'm going to go with the Rams.
I feel like this is a toss-up game.
It's a toss-up. I'm worried about, like you said, who's going to run the football, and like, are they going to put the game in Brock Purdy's hands?
Yeah,
I think they're going to have to. And then the Rams kind of like need. I mean, obviously, both of these teams need a win, but to catch up to the Seahawks, both of these teams need a win. I'll take the Rams on the road. Why not?
That's fair.
Then next game, the Cowboys are
I will not be watching this.
The Panthers are favored in this game.
Wow.
It might be the first time all season they're favored. I'm going to pick the Cowboys just because the Panthers, like, I don't know. It's the Panthers. I don't have a reason. I'm picking the Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the Panthers, actually. I have them written down, and they've not been playing bad. They gave Philly a good fight. I think that Philly is far better than Dallas, and
For sure.
Carolina's at home. They have nothing to play for, and I don't think they're going to get the number 1 pick either, so I don't think winning this game really does anything for them besides making my record go up, so let's do that.
A word?
And then we got your favorite team, the Lord Voldemort Dark Wizards. They go to Cleveland to face Jameis Winston, the boy who lived, some may say. And how are you feeling about this
If there's
one?
anyone that can face the dark magic, it might be Jameis Winston, but I'm not picking the Browns.
I was so hoping you would pick that.
I want to pick them
This
so
is going to be
bad.
the game they're going to
I
win.
hope they win. I don't care about my record for this game. If the Browns win, I will celebrate them. But I'm picking the Chiefs. But I hope the Browns win.
I agree with you. I'm picking the Chiefs. There are 2 teams in football, in all levels of football, that remind me of each other, and it's the Georgia Bulldogs and the Kansas City Chiefs. Both of these teams should not be winning games, but they both have the dark black magic on their side. I'm going to go with the Chiefs as well, just because they've only lost 1 game, and Taylor Swift is whipping up the witch's brew up there, so give me the Kansas City Chiefs on the road, but gosh, I would love to see Jameis Winston post-game interview after beating the 12-1 Chiefs. That would be electric. Oh.
This game is kind of interesting. The Dolphins and the Texans. I don't know how I feel about this one. I don't know how I feel about the Texans. They were coming off a bye this week, right? I believe.
Yes, they did not play last week. And they haven't looked good before that bye. They needed a bye. They really needed the bye week, honestly.
But, yeah, I think I'm going to pick the Texans at home. I hope I don't regret that. I think that defense is better than how it's been playing, and CJ Stroud, we know, is definitely better than how he's been playing.
Yeah.
So maybe the bye week they figure some things out. Give me the Texans.
Yeah, give me Houston at home as well. I'm not in love with it, but this team needs a big win. This is a perfect opportunity for that. Miami's not a great team, but they're definitely a team that you're not going to just want to take lightly. I think they outcoach them and outplay them. They need to at home, so give me Houston. Then we got probably the worst matchup of the week. The Jets, somehow the worst matchup of the week. But the Jets, they go to Jacksonville. I'll make it quick. I'm just going to go with the Jets because I could care less about this game, and I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the Jets as well. Mac Jones, yeah. That's all I got to say is Mac Jones is playing in this game.
Yeah, I'll keep the next one quick, too, because Washington, they go to New Orleans, and New Orleans I care less about. Washington coming off a bye week. That's a great coaching staff. Give me Washington to probably win by 30.
Yeah, I like the Commanders here as well. I'm pretty down on the Saints. I don't think they're that. I mean, they're banged up as well. Just give me the Commanders.
Yeah, anytime the Commanders play a bad team, it's ugly. They expose bad teams.
Talking about a team that doesn't expose bad teams, the Ravens go to the Giants. I'll pick the Ravens just because they should win, but I'm assuming it's going to be by 3, and it's going to be late in the fourth quarter.
It's Ravens by 40, yo. It's Ravens by 40. Give me the Ravens. They're winning this game. This guy's an idiot. They're covering the 17-point spread, by the way. I had a deal. I feel like if I'm taking the Ravens and the spread in this game. I will come back to this next week. This should count as 2 wins for me when they do, but give me the Ravens and the spread. Screw this idiot. This guy doesn't even know his own team. Moving on.
I do know my own team too well.
The Bengals go to Tennessee, who just scored like 5 points in a football game. Another game I'm really not looking forward. These games are terrible in the 1 o'clock slate. Give me the Bengals to outscore the Titans, even though both of these teams aren't great, but give me the Bengals on the road too. I think Burrow will throw like 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, I just don't think that the Titans will probably be able to move the ball on this defense, but they're not going to score 30 points like they'll need to beat them. So
yeah.
And then the Patriots go to Arizona, kind of an interesting matchup here. How you feeling about this game? I don't know where I want to go here.
I don't know. The Arizona didn't really look great against Seattle at home, but New England,
yeah.
Oh man, this isn't a great game either. Like a lot of these, again, these 1 o'clock games are rough, but I'm gonna take Arizona at home to bounce back. They kind of need to win this game if they even want to make a run in the NFC. And the Patriots, they're coming off a bye week, but I don't like New England. They're too young, they're too inexperienced, and I'm just gonna go with the home team on this one, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going to go with the Arizona Cardinals. They need a bounce back win. Like you said, they need a win to stay in the race for the division. So give me the Cards at home. Yeah.
Then we got an interesting game. It could be a trap game, honestly. The Colts at like 6-5, I think. They go to Denver. But the Colts might be like 6-6. Something. I don't know what they are. They're not great, but they go to Denver. Denver kind of riding a little bit of a high right now with the rookie quarterback. They're playing well. They're 8-5. They're in the playoff hunt right now for the AFC. And I have Denver written down, so I'm going to choose Denver at home. But I could see this being a little bit of a weird game where I don't watch a ton of it and look up at the final score, and the Colts somehow win on like a game-winning field goal. But give me Denver at home.
Yeah, I like Denver at home. It's just hard. It's a hard place to go and play and win on the road, I think, especially with that defense. The Broncos defense kind of flies around a little bit. And Bo Nix is obviously playing really well. Had that crazy game against the Browns the last time we saw them. So probably put up some points here, and I think they get it done at home.
I agree.
And our matchup of the week, the Bills and the Lions, we will break it down and make our picks after we pick the rest of these games.
Yeah,
so
that's a banger.
The Bucks go to the Chargers. Kind of a banger of a game here as well. I'm sure Ladd McConkey will be back. I don't think I was about to say Gus Edwards. J.K. Dobbins.
J.K. Dobbins.
Will be back for this one, but I think I'm gonna pick the Bucks against the Chargers on the road. I just think their offense, like the Chargers, don't have anyone to help Justin Herbert, and I think the Bucks, they need a win obviously to stay ahead of the Falcons. So I think they're gonna go. It's inside. It's not really like great home field advantage on the road for the Chargers. So give me the Bucks.
Yeah. I have the Chargers with a question mark, and the big question mark is just because I trust the Bucks offense obviously more than the Chargers. The Chargers haven't shown me anything. But I like the Chargers defense more than the Bucks, so it's weird, but I don't know. Just to maybe get ahead of you more, I'm going to go with the Chargers at home. I don't love it, and I wouldn't be shocked if Baker and the boys go into LA and win this game. Again, the Chargers just don't have enough offensively, but they do have enough defensively to keep it close and allow Herbert to kind of control the game. But I do like the Bucks a lot. This is a really good game. These last 4 games right here, or this 4-game little square right here is really good. This is a really good game. I'm excited. But give me the Chargers at home and maybe a really close game. Yep. And then we got a little in-state rivalry. We got the Steelers. Could have been game of the week too. The Steelers, my Steelers, they go into the red hot 9-win Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
I have my Steelers written down with a question mark because, I don't know if we're going to win this game, but I think we're definitely the one team that I've seen in the last 9 games for Philly to beat them and break the streak. And we're pretty hot right now. I will say our favorable matchup is if Pickens plays, our wide receivers and our passing game is very favorable against their secondary. So that would be really key for us in this game. I don't know if he's playing yet, but I'm just going to say we're going to win if he does. So as of right now, give me the Steelers on the road. But I feel like we could easily lose this game as well. This is a really good football team on the road. So
I'm going to pick the Eagles just because it's different from you, and I need the Steelers to lose for my Ravens. So I'll pick the Eagles.
It's a great game, though. I'm excited for that one. That's a really good game.
Should be a good game.
Yeah.
This should also be a good game on Sunday
This is a
Night
banger.
Football. The Packers go to the Seahawks. I'm going to pick the Packers because I know you're picking the Seahawks. I'm going to go with Jordan Love and the Packers. Josh Jacobs get it going. The defense hopefully steps up and gets a big-time win on the road.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Seahawks. And the main reason, honestly, it's not even a game of coaching and players. Seattle at home on Sunday Night Football, that environment is just another world out there. And the Packers in the last couple of weeks haven't looked tremendous, I would say. And the Seahawks, I feel like it's a more important game for Seattle than it is Green Bay because Green Bay is not getting the division. They're behind 2 teams. But Seattle does have their own destiny. So give me the 12th man at home on Sunday Night Football in a big game. One of the bigger games they've had in a few years. Yeah. So
that should be fun.
Dude, those 4 games are great.
And we get a double header on Monday Night Football because there are no buys. So every team is playing this week.
That's right.
The first game is the Bears go to the Vikings, little division matchup. I'll keep this one short. I'm going to pick the Vikings at home here against the Bears.
Yeah. They're incoming 8th loss for the Bears in a row.
And I'm interested to see who you pick for this game.
You know who I am actually picking? I'm picking the Falcons.
Okay.
And if they lose this game, listen to me right now. If they lose this game in Oakland or in Vegas, I'm going to lose my mind on Wednesday of next week.
Funny.
So I'm picking the Falcons to beat a very bad team. But if they don't, we won't even bring up the game they're playing. Just know that you can pick whoever, and I'm not talking. I'm picking everybody that plays the Falcons the rest of the season.
I'm also picking the Falcons
if they lose this game
in Las Vegas.
Yeah, if they lose that game, I'm going to freak out.
Let's talk about one more game that we have to pick. The matchup of the week. The 10-3 Bills go to Detroit, play the 12-1, I believe, Lions.
They are 12-1. This is a banger.
Gonna need another Superman type of performance from Josh Allen if the Bills are gonna have a chance in this game. This won't be the Super Bowl preview because the Chiefs and the refs are going to the Super Bowl. But in the script, this will be a battle between two powerhouses in the NFL. The Bills are still fighting for that top spot against the Chiefs for home field advantage in the playoffs. They already have the division locked up, but if they want to stay in that race with the Chiefs, they're going to need this one. I can see this being some sort of a high-scoring game. Probably not as much as we saw against the Rams and the Bills, but similar to that, maybe in the 30s for both teams. But it's going to be on Josh Allen. I think that's the key to the game. The Lions have proven they can win when Jared Goff throws 5 interceptions or he throws for 100 yards. They can win in so many ways. They can win on special teams. They're going to go. I mean, the Bills are aggressive on fourth down, sort of like the Lions, but I think just the way Dan Campbell plays, or coaches, I mean, and the way the Lions offense plays, I just think it's going to be tough for the Bills on the road. I'm going to go with the Lions in this one. I'm pretty sure I pick the Lions every week, and I mean, they've only let me down once. So, yeah.
Those are all great points because most of what I've wanted to talk about with this game is pretty much the same. I think this is actually a Super Bowl preview because Lord of Voldemort and the Dark Arts was defeated in Deathly Hallows Part 2, and it could happen in the NFL. Two of the best quarterbacks in the league, like you said, needing a superhero, super heroic, Superman type game from Josh Allen. Detroit, they're always a wild environment. They're going to be a wild environment on Sunday afternoon. They know who's coming into town, a really good AFC team, and they're going to get rowdy. They're going to back up that team. We have enough time to know now how good both of these teams are. There's been enough, we've seen enough tape on these guys in different circumstances. Like you said, the Lions have won in, I think, every way you could win a football game this year. And the Bills have had some rocky games, but they've overall looked really good. Both of these teams can put up points. Like you said, I wouldn't be shocked if this is a high-scoring game. We've had some teams like this play each other where we think it's going to be high-scoring, and I think the defense take into account for that, so it's not, and they kind of play up a little bit more than they normally have. But the key matchup in this one, in my opinion, is the Bills' defense. Again, I've been suspect of them a little bit just because of how they've been playing this year, and it's been a lot of Josh Allen save us. But they're playing again against a good, really, really good Lions unit. This offense has put up like multiple 40-plus point games this year. And I worry. I trust Josh Allen. I do not trust the defense of the Bills. That's the problem. And I'm worried the Lions are going to be a little bit too much to handle on the road. Again, just at home in Detroit, that fan base is fully bought in, obviously. So anytime you're going into Detroit, it is a rough time. Again, I like Allen, but I just don't want him to have to save the day in Detroit. It's a tough team to play against again, and they're banged up, but they're getting healthy. But yeah, that's my key matchup. The Bills defense, they need to get off the field on 3rd and 4th down because it don't matter if it's 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, 4th down. The Lions are a threat at all times, and they got to get off the field. They got to present Allen with shorter fields and maybe a little bit more opportunities. Maybe play a little keep away. And hopefully it's not a game where he has to throw 6 touchdowns or score 6 touchdowns to win. This is also a huge coaching matchup. Both of these coaches are really good at their jobs. Both teams are going to be really prepared. I'm excited for this one. This is a great game. I will be taking Detroit at home. Like you said, we've picked them pretty much every week. They've only let us down one time. And I wouldn't be shocked if the Bills win. They're a good football team. And, the Lions aren't indestructible or anything. But it's tough to win in Detroit. They're a really good team. The big problem is you can't make mistakes against Detroit, and I think they're too much offensively for the Bills defense. I really do. But I think it'll be a good game, though.
Should be a banger.
Regardless.
Should be a banger. Let's go over our new power ranks for this week. Week 15 in the NFL. We're almost done.
Crazy.
Unfortunately.
I know. Football season moves too fast, man.
But, I mean, we can go over all these, but my top 8 actually stay the same, which is the Lions, Bills, Eagles, Chiefs, Steelers, Vikings, Packers, Ravens.
That's fair because only 4 teams for me move in my top 8. I bumped up Kansas City 1 spot to 2, and I moved Buffalo down 3 because they have dark magic on their side. So Kansas City moves up to 2. They really should be 1 because they have it on.
They should be 32nd, but
they should be number 1 because they have witchcraft and powers on their team that are off the football field's control right now. They also have the refs pretty much in every game, it seems like, so it's tough to beat them. But they flip-flop with Buffalo. Buffalo falls to 3. They move down 1 spot after a close game. And the only one I have that's different is Detroit. Again, Detroit, Kansas City, Buffalo now. Minnesota stays the same. Philly stays the same. Both those teams are 11-2. Minnesota looks really good after that win against Atlanta. And I like to see them play like, if they continue to look like that, they're going to move up probably in my top 10. But that was their first win, like we talked about, that they needed to have like a convincing win. And then the only other 2 teams that really switch for me in the top 8 is my Steelers move up 1. They flip-flop with Green Bay from last week. Green Bay falls 1 after their loss, and we move up 1 at 10-3 now, and Baltimore stays at 8 because they didn't play.
Yeah. But I have the Bills. I know they lost, but I just kept them there because I still think they're the second best team in the NFL.
I literally only moved the Chiefs up because they have black magic.
I want to move the Chiefs out because they have black magic. But I bring the Seahawks back into the top 10. They've been playing well at my 9 spot, and then the Chargers will actually stay at 10, even though they lost to the black magic Chiefs. Should have won, but it's okay.
I actually have the Seahawks in at my 9 spot as well. They move up. They jump into the top 10. They would have been 10 if Washington played a football game this week, but they didn't. So Seattle moves into the 9 spot for me, and Washington just stays at 10 because they didn't play anybody. But they're still a good football team, and I trust them more than the Chargers and a couple other teams that are in that range that you could put in the 10 spot. Houston's kind of sitting in there, even though they haven't looked great. But I like the Seahawks. They move in at number 9, and rounding out the top 10 again is Washington.
Hi, baby.
That's right. Those are our power rankings.
That's the power rankings, guy. Let's talk about some bets.
We printed last week.
We did print. And you know what's crazy?
We're about to do
I
it
didn't
again.
pick my freaking bets. But it's okay, because I'm about to do it right now.
Oh, it's okay. We'll be right back.
No, it's fine. We'll keep going.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. Let me take a gander at the board here.
Well, I'll start out.
Yeah, go ahead.
We'll do every alternate here. I got the Cincinnati Bengals. I know they just squeaked one out against Dallas, but it's okay. Cincinnati is somehow only -5 on the road against Tennessee. Now, I know that Cincinnati hasn't looked like a great football team, but this offense will score the ball, and Tennessee has shown they don't know how to do that. So even if, it's not a great game from Cincinnati, they're going to score the ball regardless. And their weakest part is their defense, but they're playing the Tennessee Titans who don't know how to score the ball. So give me the Cincinnati Bengals -5 on the road. That's hitting for sure.
I like that.
Yeah, they're scoring enough to win by more than 5. I don't care.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to take the Lions -2.5 against the Bills.
I like that.
I think at home, if they're going to win, they're going to win by a field goal. I don't think they win by 2 or 1. I mean, It's definitely possible, but I think the defense for the Bills is just going to have a horrible day just because it's the Lions. It's not going to be fun going on the road. I think the Lions can cover 2.5 points at home.
I agree. That's a good pick. Moving on, I'm taking the Seattle Seahawks. They are +3 at home against Green Bay. giving the Seahawks on Sunday Night Football points at home is crazy to me. And I like them to, even if they lose, I think it'll be by a 24-23 type game or something. So give me the Seahawks +3 at home on Sunday Night Football.
I think for my last pick, take the Bucks. It's at 3 right now, but just buy the point to 3.5. If the Chargers win that game, I think it's by a field goal. I think the Bucks. I think they win outright. I picked the Bucks to win, but if they do lose, I think it's by a field goal or less. So give me the Bucks +3.5.
I like that too. The Bucks are good. They're good against the spread.
They are good.
Yeah,
good football team.
Yeah, we'll go football team.
Go football team.
Those are our picks.
Those are our picks, baby.
That hit last week, so put those in.
We did hit last week because we're legendary.
And we're about to hit this week.
We're about to hit. Let's talk about college because it's kind of crazy.
We're done. We're now here. Into the nitty gritty.
We're here.
And my Miami Hurricanes aren't a part of the party.
That's tough.
It's okay. I mean, it's not really okay. They're leaving out the best quarterback in the country, and he's not playing for a national championship, so that kind of sucks, but it's okay. Don't worry, we get to watch Drew Aller and the boys play some fun. Okay.
Oh, my goodness.
Let's recap these picks we had of the conference championships.
We both had Boise State over UNLV. Ashton Genty and the boys get it done.
Yeah, that's my Heisman winner, by the way.
Big dubs.
That guy should get the Heisman.
He should.
He's the best running back in the country. I also want to make a really quick point. I think a lot of people are misunderstanding. If you've played high school football or if you've watched high school football at an elite level or if you've been around high school football or good high school football players, you should understand that a lot of guys in college football, I'm not saying what Travis Hunter's doing isn't impressive, but there are plenty of people in the country that could probably play both ways at an elite level. Like, there are plenty of guys who did it in high school, and I think there's a lot of guys who could do it in college. They just don't need to. And again, I'm not saying what Travis Hunter's doing isn't impressive because it is, but I think if you've been around and seen a lot of great high school football players, a lot of, especially cornerback and wide receivers, they usually play both ways. A lot of those guys can do it. There's only one running back in the entire country that's doing not only what he's doing, but doing what he's been doing in the last 30 years. So I think it's very impressive of what Genty has not only done, but what he's continued to do on a week-to-week basis. Again, the only person he's chasing is maybe the best running back college football's ever seen. So it's very impressive. Again, and the numbers don't really lie. Travis Hunter, I wouldn't award him with top 5 at either side of the football. I think he's top 10, but I don't think he's definitively at best at either corner or wide receiver. And you're comparing him to by far and away the best running back in the country. So just as we both did pick Boise State, but I did want to say Genty, in my opinion, deserves the Heisman for that reason.
Yeah, I mean, they have a first-round bye in the college football playoff.
Literally because of Ashton Genty.
Literally because of him, which is kind of nuts.
Let's move on. Tulane, they went to the service academy and figured out that Army is not the 24th best team in the country. I said it last week. I don't know why they lose one game to Black Magic Notre Dame, and they fell all the way to 24. Kind of wild. Tulane, they went in and figured that one out. Army wins big, and we split on that because Jason chose Tulane.
Green Wave let me down. It's okay, though.
It's all good. You want to talk about a team that let me down? Good Lord.
Western Kentucky.
The Hilltoppers.
The Hilltoppers lost to Jacksonville State. I don't even know their mascot, but they lost by a lot.
They lost by a lot.
Wasn't even close.
It was not.
It's okay.
Western Kentucky, they got handled a little bit. It's fine.
They did.
I thought they still had Brandon Doughty and freaking Tyler Higbee out there, but they don't.
Because we both won Oregon
in a really close. Honestly, I thought this game, if you watch the first quarter of this game, the first beginning of this game, it was looking like it was going to be Oregon beat that because it looked like Drew and the boys were just going to be the same old Penn State offense and do nothing. But they turned it around. I will say this is the best I've seen Allard play all season, and that's shockingly because he still threw 2 interceptions in this game. But Penn State definitely shocked me a little bit with how they played. So it gave me a hope. It gave me a little bit of hope that they can maybe show that they deserve to be in the college football playoff because they really haven't played that great all season. But Oregon, Dylan Gabriel and the boys, they solidify, go undefeated.
Undefeated season loading here.
Undefeated season and are the joining and now the Big Ten champions.
They are.
I don't know if that's ever happened in the Big Ten, a team first year. But
probably not.
That's impressive. Impressive season for them.
Let's talk about.
I don't want to talk about
Georgia. They beat Texas, and we both lose because
Lord Voldemort is on the sideline, and I'm over it.
I'm over it. Is that quarterback?
Dude, he literally is Tom Brady. He looks like him too. Why is it that why does Quentin Ewers suck? Like, why does he suck? The only team that they've lost to has been the Dark Arts Lords. And why is that? Why is it that when like Georgia's defense isn't even doing anything special in this game? They're not even doing anything special. They're just playing normal defense. And as soon as Lord Voldemort got hurt, I literally tweeted that the Bulldogs were going to win. I knew as soon as Carson Beck got hurt, they were going to win the game because he's their worst nightmare. But why is it that Quentin Ewers and Steve Sarkisian don't know what they
got hurt and bring in?
They would have won.
Arch.
They would have won. I wish they would have kept Arch in the game.
Arch.
I don't know what it is. I don't understand. Like, and not only
and make it the easiest.
We're gonna talk about that in a little bit here. You want to talk about dark arts magic, black magic? Everyone can talk about the Chiefs all year. Whoa. We're gonna talk about it in a second. I need to keep my blood pressure at a certain level, but Quinn Ewers, all you have to do is just throw the ball down the field and score points. Georgia's not even doing it. Let's move on. We both take the L because Quinn Ewers sucks. Let's move on. Let's talk about the ACC championship game and why it doesn't matter because Miami didn't play in it. Clemson, we both take SMU because Clemson lost 3 games this year, and they probably shouldn't even have been in the ACC championship game to begin with. It should have been Miami, but it's all stupid. But they beat SMU because SMU just loses on a last game field goal because freaking Clemson's quarterback decides to play really good football for once, and congratulations. Miami should be in the college football playoff, and I'm over it. I can't believe that my team's not represented. Best quarterback in the country is not playing in the college football playoff because we lost to Georgia Tech and unranked Syracuse, but it's okay.
It's tough.
It is tough.
Clemson, like that was an insane field goal.
That was he drilled that.
It was a bomb.
Yeah.
Arizona State beat Iowa State by a lot. In the Big 12. They were the favorites to come in last in the Big 12, and they win it. Congrats to Arizona State. They get a first-round bye in the college football playoff.
They went from finished last to first-round bye. The fact that Arizona State and Boise State have first-round byes in the college football playoff in 2024 is nuts.
I think they need to revise that a little bit. But
they do.
It's okay.
It should be the 4 highest ranked, like, I don't even know how they would do it because you can't say 4 highest ranked like teams per se, but not in a mean way. But Arizona State and Boise State should not have a bye week over like a Texas or a Tennessee. Like no shot. So maybe it's a strength of schedule thing or something. I don't know. They got to figure that out though.
Yeah, maybe if you win like your championship, you're in the playoff regardless, but you're not an automatic bid for a first round bye.
Yeah.
That's probably what it should be. Yeah,
I agree with that. Moving on, another kind of route game, but Ohio, the Cougars, baby. They destroyed Miami, Ohio. We both get that one right.
And then Marshall beat Louisville. That's right. It wasn't a Louisville, was it?
It was Louisiana.
That's right.
I abbreviated that wrong.
It's okay. Marshall gets a big time win, right?
Yeah, they destroyed them.
Yeah, we both picked Marshall. It's a dub. Easy money. We both go 6-3. That brings you to 45-43, and I'm at 58-30.
Yeah, I don't think there's really any catching up unless I pick opposite of you the entire playoff, and all of those teams win.
It's possible.
Which I might have to do.
Some black magic.
I'm not picking against the freaking dark arts, but it's not really close. I'm down 13. It's got a lot of room to make up here, but it could happen.
Can happen.
Maybe we'll see.
13 games.
I'm literally gonna have to pick like opposite of you on all of them.
It's fine.
I'm gonna do that. So
all right.
We don't have a college football recap, really. Not too much to talk about. We kind of broke down those games. Yeah. Some of them were kind of blowouts. Some of them were good. The Big Ten championship was really good. The ACC championship was really good watch. And we don't have anything to recap, but we do have something to look forward to now. We have the official, kind of hinted at a little bit, some talks, but we have the official playoff, college football playoff bracket. And we're going to break this down. And I don't know what you're looking at, but I'm going to go off of my screen here. And we're going to talk about the top matchup we got for the first game is number 12 Clemson, the winners of the ACC championship game. They go to number 5 Texas. Arizona State has the bye week. So the winner of this will play Arizona State in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Yeah. I don't know. How do you want to do this? Do you want to break down like where every team's seated or the matchups? Or
yeah, we can talk about the matchups. I think
because we don't have to pick these until next week.
Yeah, we can just briefly talk about where they are.
Okay. Well, let's do that then. Let's go down the list. We got Oregon at number 1. They've solidified their spot in
undefeated number 1
undefeated season. They rightfully, in my opinion, they deserve the number 1 spot. Number 2. It's weird. I don't have the Bulldogs. I have the Slytherin school on. The SEC champion winners, they are the number 2 seed. They have the bye week as well. They're in the number 2. I feel like rightfully so after beating Texas twice now. And then the 3 and the 4, we just talked about this, but I disagree with these. Boise State at 3 and Arizona State at 4. They are rounding out the 4 teams in the bye week. I'm not a big fan of those. I'm happy that Boise State and Arizona State are in. They're rightfully so. They've won the Mountain West. They won the Big 12. They deserve to get in. But I don't feel like they should have a bye week over teams like Texas, Tennessee, Ohio State even, in my opinion. But
I even think Clemson, because they won the ACC, they should be in that. Even though they have a worse record, they maybe have worse losses, but they're in a better conference.
Yeah.
And I think they should have one of those buys. But
yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah. But those are our 4 teams with a bye week. Yeah. Let's move on.
Yeah, so you want to talk about Texas and Clemson. Texas at the 5, Clemson at the 12. That's the first matchup.
And that is the winner of who plays Arizona State.
Yeah, the
winner
of that
Chick-fil-A
game
Peach Bowl.
Arizona State. I don't know about Texas, man. I just don't trust them.
One thing I'm going to talk about really quick is the left side of this bracket is stacked out of its mind. The fact that Clemson, Texas, Tennessee, and Ohio State and Oregon are all in this little group here is pissing me off because these are really good teams. They're in the Make-A-Wish Bowl. I think that's who plays them. The freaking Hogwarts Quidditch. That's what they're doing. They're in the Quidditch match, freaking championship. All of these teams are really good. Texas, Tennessee, Ohio State, and Oregon are definitely 4 of the best teams in this bracket in the country, and they all have to play each other to get to the national championship game. That's unfortunate, and it sucks that only one of those representatives are going to come out of this left side. But I do love the matchup. I think Clemson and Texas is a really great game, obviously, and it all depends on Clemson's offense. Obviously, if they can do what they just did against SMU, they got a shot. I mean,
I don't
Clemson.
trust Texas at all.
I don't either. I don't like you.
Their best win against Texas A&M. I mean, they beat Texas A&M 17-7.
Yeah.
They beat Oklahoma, who was ranked 18th at the time, 34-3. But then we really found out who Oklahoma was like later on.
Yeah.
They beat Vanderbilt by 3. Like, I like Clemson. Not that we're making picks right now, but like,
yeah,
I think
just
that's a favorable matchup for Clemson.
This is a little bar talk, a little cooler talk. Yeah. Texas, by the way, is favored by 11 as of right now in that game.
That's insanity.
That's kind of wild.
That is insanity.
That is kind of wild. The winner of that, again, they go on to play Arizona State. Let's move on to the same. We'll stay on this left side of the bracket because I'm going to yell here soon. But Tennessee and Ohio State, that is a banger of a game, in my opinion. Tennessee, they go play Ohio State, and whoever wins that game, we might get a little. I would love to see an Ohio State-Oregon rematch because that 1-point game early in the season was awesome. But number 9, Tennessee, they go to number 8, Ohio State. That is a really good game. And I don't know. Early thoughts on that? I just think if Tennessee's offense can move the ball and stay consistent, because they've been a little rocky all year, it's going to be tough. If both of these teams play at the best they could that we've seen all year, I feel like Ohio State's going to come out on top on that one. But that's a really good game.
And it is a home game, like first playoff home game in college football, whatever, at the shoe.
Yeah.
So that place is going to be banana land.
Yeah. That place is going to be rocking.
So it's going to be tough for Tennessee to come in and get a win. But I do like their defense. I think this is going to be like a low scoring ish kind of game.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like a battle, like a line of scrimmage game.
I will say Ohio State has a lot to prove in this game after coming off that loss against Michigan. I feel like that crowd is going to be very, very quick to jump on them if they're not playing well early, especially Ryan Day and that all of the noise and stuff coming out of Ohio State. They got to play good. They got to play good because they'll lose the crowd quickly. But I think either team that wins that, them going to play Oregon that's so good. That's such a good game.
That would be good.
And then I'm hoping that, no disrespect to Arizona State, but I hope that regardless if it's Tennessee, Ohio State, or Oregon that go into we'll say just the championship game, or like I don't even know. Yeah, the semifinal. There you go. I hope that they play at Texas or Clemson there because that again, this side of the bracket is stacked.
Yeah.
Especially in the quarterback department. And I feel like for Clemson to win and to beat Texas, Cade Klubnik's going to need to play how he did in the ACC championship game. He's going to have a good day. The Clemson team's going to have a good day offensively, but that side of the bracket is stacked. I like that a lot. Those are good games.
Let's talk about the other side of the bracket.
Yeah, this is some crazy bullshit, okay? The fact that these bum Georgia team, look at this side of the bracket that Georgia has to play. That will be the only game I pick Notre Dame in. That would be the only game I pick Notre Dame in, or Indiana, ever. But Georgia's in a bracket that has Boise State, who has literally one player that one of the best college coaches in the country has to game plan for. Then they have Notre Dame, who has quite literally beaten nobody all year. Indiana, who again has the 116th strength of schedule. Penn State, which is literally it's not even Penn State, it's just a question mark of who they are. And then SMU. How is Georgia gifted this? This is unbelievable.
That's why I think the Boise State, no disrespect to them, they're a good football team, but they're not a Tennessee or Ohio State or Texas or Clemson.
No.
I think Arizona State might be a sleeper. I think they pound the football. They can score points.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It does seem like a make-a-wish half a bracket. Like Penn State's, I don't even think they're that good.
I think SMU can outscore them.
I think SMU could win that game. And then it's Boise State, SMU. I don't need, in the quarterfinal, or whatever that is.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I mean, the Indiana Notre Dame game is easily the worst week 1 game. Easily.
That could be a banger of a game.
Yeah, because they both stink. They both haven't played anybody.
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I still root for Indiana in that. I like them over Notre Dame, and I'm not just saying that to be funny, but I just like their coaching staff over Notre Dame. But I'm honestly, I'm not even joking. The best team in this bracket, if played the best, might be the Fighting Irish somehow. That's crazy. Because I don't trust Beck or what's his name that came in for Georgia. I just don't trust their offense at all. And I mean, this is a joke. Like SMU and Penn State. I mean, sure, whatever. And then Indiana, Notre Dame, like,
Sure,
come
whatever.
on, man. Like, this is crazy. Like, if Georgia doesn't make it to play in the national championship game, they should
I think
fire everybody.
They're losing to Notre Dame or Indiana.
I would literally cry.
Like, you know who's putting out like the black magic? Kurt Signetti. They say, go to hell with your black magic.
I would love that. Oh my god, I would love that so much. Yeah, this side of the bracket, obviously, I'm very favorable of Georgia being the representative on this side. I mean, if they don't, that'd be shocking. I hope to God Kirk Signetti, the boy who lived, comes to town and stops that black magic. But yeah, I'm more focused on the left side of the bracket here. There's plenty more good opportunity for games there. And I mean, obviously, like SMU and Penn State, Indiana, Notre Dame, they've all earned their spots. Indiana is a bit of a question mark. I know a lot of people are questioning that one just off of strength of schedule alone. But this is the 12-team playoff. This is the first 12-team playoff we got. I don't really think it's that bad. I wish Miami would have made it. Honestly, I personally think Alabama is beating SMU. I think they're beating in Indiana. I think they're beating in Notre Dame. So I do think that the first two teams out, I think that they got wrong. I think Cam Ward deserves to play in the national championship game, or for a national championship game, I should say, being the best quarterback in the country. And I mean, I don't know. It's not bad, but it's not great. I feel like the 12-team playoff. So
yeah,
we'll see.
I think the seeding could be a little bit better. I do agree with some of the people that were left out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like Alabama went into LSU and beat them by like 40. SMU, Penn State, Indiana, Notre Dame, and Boise State and Arizona State are not going into LSU and beating anybody by 40. Like, and that Alabama team has been rocky and uncoached and not even like consistent. And they're still a really good SEC football team. Ole Miss, for God's sake, would beat some of these teams. Like, again, it's not terrible, but I feel like they've missed a little bit. But it is 12 teams, so it's more parity. And I hope there's upsets. I really do. I hope Georgia loses. I hope I hope there's some craziness. Hey,
what if they just made it to the semifinal?
Shout out to the Broncos. That offense could do it. They're like Arizona State. They could put up points. Overall, I'm still going to have a lot of fun watching this. I'm just sad that my Miami Hurricanes aren't in it. We kind of choked down the stretch. But overall, again, the left side of the brackets, we got a lot of opportunity here. We could even have a Georgia-Texas third matchup in the national championship game, which would be crazy. But we have we have an opportunity for a Big Ten rematch between Ohio State and Oregon. That was a banger. We have an opportunity for Tennessee to play in Oregon and then maybe even move on and play at Texas or Clemson.
SMU Clemson, run it back for the Natty.
That would be sick.
Why not? 12th and 11th seeds.
That would be crazy. There's a lot of situations here that could happen, but obviously the left side of the bracket is definitely power heavy. Yeah. But that is our first ever college football 12-team playoff bracket. Again, a lot of interesting, storylines there and things that can happen. But I'm excited. He's excited. We're all excited.
Over under reactions to finish the episode off. I got some interesting one to start.
Okay.
Bill Belichick, coach of the Tar Heels, first season. Takes the boys to the college football playoff. Over under reaction.
I don't know because he never coached college. Like, it's a different environment. I mean, it's weird to see. Ball. He does know football.
And it's like NIL, a little different. There's going to be a salary cap thing going on in next season. I will say, it's almost like he's starting the game with like basketball money.
like it's almost like he's starting the game with like a little bit of an inheritance because it's just his name. He's gonna walk in, like you said, and get who knows how many. We're gonna see here in the offseason how many transfers from other schools are gonna go to North Carolina just off of the name of Bill Belichick. I'm sure he's gonna bring in a good coaching staff. The only problem is I think with how the new I don't really think it's a problem, but I'm just interested to see how he adapts to the new college football, just NIL, transfer portal, recruiting, and all that stuff. Because it is, in a sense, I think they're trying to make it more similar to how the NFL works and things like that, but it's still a different ball game. I will say the biggest thing that I could take away from Belichick, I know I'm kind of rambling here, but it is important because this is a huge. It's just big to see him take this job, but going from coaching men and like their livelihood and like all of that, like you're coaching grown men to you're coaching kids who are going to listen way more. Like I feel like his voice is going to be more of a presence than it was even in the NFL just because of his pedigree. I think that's big. And I really think in the ACC he has a shot. I really think that he can make the college football playoff in his first season. I don't think it's by like a crazy amount, but I think it's a slight underreaction just because the ACC is a bit wide open. We're losing Cam Ward in Miami. Obviously, we're going to try and replace him. We have good young talent there, but Clemson, SMU, Miami, like it's really not anything crazy in the ACC. But yeah, I think this is a slight underreaction. But I'm excited. Because UNC, while being like a basketball and a baseball school for a while, in the last like 5, 6, 7 years, they've gotten better in football, and I think this is.
I can't wait for UNC Bill Belichick post game press conferences again.
Yeah.
We're on to Clemson.
We're on to Clemson. We're on to Georgia Tech. We're playing Georgia Tech this week. No, that's exciting. I'm excited. The baby blues are going to be fresh next year. A lot of energy. Stands are going to be full. There's going to be a lot of expectation too, so that's exciting. But yeah, I'll take an underreaction on them. I could see them being a low-seeded representative in the playoff.
Okay.
Let's move on to Superman himself. Is Josh Allen? Actually, it's not as a question. Josh Allen is the NFL MVP as of right now off of that performance last Sunday, even though they did lose.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is an underreaction. I think, like, regardless of the stats and, like, whatever you do, like, take Josh Allen off the Bills, like, they have 2 wins probably. Like, maybe. Yeah. So I think there's an underreaction. I think he's currently favored by a lot right now to win the NFL MVP. So I think that is a underreaction.
Yeah,
for sure.
I agree. He would be my pick.
Georgia. We just talked about it. They have the easiest road of all of the powerhouse teams, I guess you could say, or Power 5 or Power 4.
Very favorable.
Very favorable road to the national championship. So, is Georgia winning the Natty?
Oh, no, they're not. This is a overreaction because they're not only not going to get there.
Oh.
Actually, they're not only not going to win it, they're not going to get there is what I meant to say.
Okay.
I think they're going to get upset by a team in that right side of the bracket somehow. But I will say I would be shocked if they don't make it to the Natty, because if they don't, that's even more impressive because of how easy their side is, all things considered, especially just coaches. They have the best coach in that bracket by far, and I don't even think it's really close at all. And, yeah, I don't think they're winning the Natty. This is obviously an overreaction, but man, I would love to see them get upset. I don't even think they're going to make it, to be honest with you. But yeah, overreaction, Georgia Bulldogs. Sorry about it.
Bulldogs.
Another team we love to talk about on the show, baby, the AFC playoffs, which both of our teams most likely will be playing in. Does the roads to the Super Bowl go through Arrowhead yet again?
Unfortunately, this is an underreaction. Because the Chiefs have 1 loss. I believe the next closest team is you guys and the Bills with 3 losses.
Yes.
So, and there's
5?
4 weeks left.
Is it 4?
It's week 15, I believe. So
oh, yeah.
4 weeks left.
Yeah.
So the Chiefs have to lose. They're not losing because they have the refs and Black Magic Voodoo, Taylor Swift, Pixie Dust. So they're not going to lose, but hopefully they lose to, I think they play you guys, don't they?
We do play them, yes.
So you're going to beat them, hopefully.
I think that's the only way that we could get home field.
Yeah.
And
you have to beat the Eagles.
Like winning out and obviously beating
them. So kind of nuts, but no, it's going to go through Arrowhead, unfortunately, for the AFC.
Yeah. I sadly will agree with that.
Talking about someone winning their division or their conference, the Rams just got a big win against the Bills. Are they going to win, or will the Rams win the NFC West?
As much as I think that win at home was impressive, obviously beating the Bills is very impressive how they did, keeping up with them and outscoring them. I think it's an overreaction slightly just because I think Seattle, again, we said this like 3 weeks ago, but if all things considered, like as of right now, who's playing the best, it's still Seahawks. I feel like Seattle's going to beat Green Bay. If they do, that really takes them over the top, I feel like, in the division. But the Rams do have a chance, but it starts on tomorrow night. I think they have a tough task with the 49ers in division. So I think this is a slight overreaction. They do have a shot, though, the Rams, but I don't trust them enough. I think the biggest problem for the Rams is they don't have a lot of the superstars on defense that they did during that Super Bowl run. Obviously, like Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, guys like that, that they had. But, yeah, I just think Seattle has too much of a team that they're going to keep winning to take anybody else to win the division. So I'm going to say it's a slight overreaction. But I do like the Rams a lot, and I would like to see them win. It's not like I don't want them to, but yeah.
Okay.
Lastly,
Okay.
Let's talk about your Ravens.
Let's talk about them.
I have a question. Will Baltimore make a coaching change? Or I should say Baltimore will make a coaching change if you guys don't contend for a Super Bowl, meaning you guys make it at least to the Super Bowl this year in the playoffs. They will make a coaching change.
I think this is an overreaction just from the vibes of like the team, I'm assuming. Unless we somehow like miss the playoffs, then then it's a conversation. But if we go to the playoffs, I think even if we lose the first game, like I don't think there's a coaching change, honestly.
Yeah.
Should there be is a different conversation than will there be. But I don't think there would be one if we make the playoffs.
I could honestly see it happening. If you guys don't like, I feel like if you guys, because all we've seen the last like 4 years with you guys is teams that should probably play in a Super Bowl or compete, and then they don't.
Yeah.
I could see it happening. I don't think it will either, but I could see it. Like you said, especially if you guys like miss the playoffs or something, or crazy, or like make the wild card and get bounced first round or something. But I don't know. I could see it happening. I feel like a lot of noise this year within the fan base and the outside has been questionable.
I think the fan base, but like I don't know if you fire a coach that makes the playoffs.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's fair. I could see it happening just because, like,
yeah,
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, the fans, but I mean, well, you think the fans would fire him like today, but
yeah, they would have fired him like 4 games in.
Yeah, but that's the episode. That is the episode. What are we at? 27 now?
Something like that.
27.
Football season's almost done.
It is.
I'm sad.
Kind of crazy. College football playoff. First ever college football playoff. Well, 12-team playoff.
12-team, yeah.
Is here.
So we got that coming up next weekend, which we will make our picks for. I actually will be going to Disney that Saturday for a Disney family trip. So I'll be gone for like a whole week. So we got to figure out when. We probably won't get an episode to you guys until like next, maybe Friday, I think. Possibly. I don't know. I got to look. I'll talk with Jason about that. But that's our episode. Like you said, first 12-team playoff. We got that next Saturday. That's exciting.
That is exciting.
No college football besides the Army and Navy game
Army
on Saturday.
Navy.
I got Army in that one. We didn't really need to talk about it much.
I'll pick Army.
Fun game though.
Yeah. They always have the swag. They have the cool helmets.
Yeah, we look forward to that every year. Big NFL games. We got some bangers. The Steelers. We go to Philly. The Packers in Seahawks on Sunday night. I can't wait to watch that on mute like I do every Sunday night. And yeah, our matchup of the week, again, another Lions game, the Bills and the Lions Super Bowl preview. Yeah, for you guys that don't know, I actually watch Sunday Night Football on mute because I can't stand Chris Collinsworth. So
I watch it on 100 max volume.
That's why.
Now here's a guy.
That's my. I'm gonna get that tattooed on me.
I'm about to say now. Here's a guy so loud.
Now here's.
All right, guys. We appreciate you watching. As always, we'll see you next week at some point.
At some point. No, yeah. Next week's episode's fine. It's the following one. So it's following the episode. It's following the first week of the college football playoffs. So that first slate of games Christmas and week? The bowl games. Yes, that Christmas week.
That.
Yeah. So we'll figure that one out. Next week will be fun.
Chilling.
Next week's normal. All things normal.
All right, guys. We appreciate you. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.